Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to another session on accent litigation. My name is Oluwatosin Isaac, and we'll be discussing another interesting topic today. Now, if you've been following us all through our last session, you will know that we've been discussing a specific topic with subtopics. I don't put it that way, yes. A topic with a subtopic, and we've been talking about enforcement of judgments. I mean, when a court of law gives a judgment, what's next? How is it to be enforced? Like, okay, the court has pronounced a judgment, what is the next thing? And we know that the outcome or the goal for every litigation is judgment, and one way or the other, either of the party wants the judgment to be in its favor. But regardless of as the case may be, it's either one party, the favor is given in favor of one party and against another party. You understand? So, in a case whereby the judgment is given, and to whom the judgment is given against, like, okay, the court has pronounced the judgment, and there's a claimant, there's a defendant, somebody is claiming 500,000 naira, the court has pronounced, okay, fine, based on the circumstances and based on all the facts, the evidences, affidavits, whatever, the claimant's claim actually succeed, and I ordered the defendant to pay the sum of 500,000 naira to the claimant as a judgment debt. Now that's the judgment. The defendant is to pay 500,000 naira. Human nature might make him want to delay or outrightly refuse to comply. This is why we have some rules, judgment enforcement procedure rules, that guide us when it comes to enforcement of judgment, to see that judgment takes effect and it was not just said in open air, okay, the court just said it like that and just vague like that. No, the end result is to say that it takes effect, and that is the essence of the rules. Now, we've talked about different ways you can enforce judgment after the judgment is given. We've talked about the rate of FIFA. We've talked about garnishing proceedings. Now we are going to discuss another one today, which is judgment summon. It's going to be very brief and very clear, straight to the point, because even from the word judgment summon is more like when you summon someone, when you invite somebody over to court. So let me create this scenario. Mr. Salami is the claimant, Mr. Uche is the defendant, and the court has ordered, given the judgment in favor of Mr. Salami, that Mr. Uche should pay the judgment sum of 500,000 naira. In this case right now, Mr. Salami is the judgment creditor, while Mr. Uche is the judgment debtor. Now we have a creditor, we have a debtor, right? Mr. Uche is meant to pay the money, but first week, second week, third week, we're not seeing anything. Mr. Salami has not gotten his money. He has just been enjoying the benefit of his litigation. What is wrong? Okay, Mr. Salami walks up to his counsel, to his lawyer, and says, the law, this is what's happening. I've not seen any money yet. So, and we're okay, fine, we'll go to court and apply for judgment summon. What is judgment summon? Judgment summon is just more like an invitation given to the judgment debtor to come to court to come and answer questions as to his means. Meaning, why have you not paid? What are you doing? What is your work? Why have you not paid this sum? Do you have any property? You understand? Just come and answer questions as to his means on how he's going to pay the money. And the counsel to Mr. Salami right now goes to court and applies through an application, prays the court to issue a judgment debtor summon to Mr. Uche to invite him to court. The application is granted, the court grants the application, and Mr. Uche is invited to court. And the court asks, Mr. Uche, can you tell this court why you've not paid the debt? What is your profession? What do you do? What are you doing? Do you have any properties? You understand? Just a way to see that the debt is paid. Why are you delaying the money? Now, in this scenario, there are some things that can likely happen. Now, the likely outcome of this invitation will be probably after the questioning and the answer, and the court finds out that Mr. Uche actually has the money, but has refused to just pay. He has the means. I mean, he has the means, not need the money, but he has the means. He can actually pay the money, but he simply refused to pay. he will be committed to prison. Will be committed to prison. Another outcome that can happen is that the court might attach his property for sale after the questioning, and it seems like, okay, fine, you have some good properties that you can put up for sale, and the court will attach it. Okay, fine, go and sell so and so property and pay the judgment sum, and if there's any balance, we can refund the money back to you. So that's another outcome. Another outcome is the fact that it can pay in installment. The court can order that, okay, fine, you don't have 500,000 naira at once. You can pay in installment, 100,000 naira, 150 monthly, like that, just to pay the money. And another outcome is the fact that the court may give an order for discharge of the judgment debtor from prison. It goes both ways. It actually goes both ways. Because if you look at it, if the judgment debtor is in prison, how is he going to pay the money? But it's just more like refusing to obey the court's order. That's a serious kind. That's like you're holding the court in contempt. I mean, the court gave an order. You should obey it. It's the court of law. If the court gives an order, you should obey it. If the court summons you, you come to court. Like that. It's unless you want to hold the court in contempt, which is a crime on its own. So basically, that is what judgment summon is all about. Like I said, it's just to the end that every litigant enjoys the success of his litigation. And these rules, the Sheriff and Civil Process Act, is the major rules or the major law put in place to ensure that the enforcement of judgment is carried to the letter. I mean, to the letter. You have to pay 500,000. You have to pay 500,000, not 490 or 450. To the letter. So that will be all for today. I hope you've learned one or two things. Until we meet again next week, I hope you join us. Don't forget to leave a comment. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to ask questions if you have any. And don't forget to join us on another episode on Accent Litigation. My name still remains Oluwatosin Isaac, and I will see you next week.